In April of 2013, I was invited to share at the Romanian Baptist Youth Association East Coast Missions Conference in Atlanta. When I arrived at the church, I met Val, and he introduced me to a handsome man named Nathan, and told me that Nathan is the reason that this whole conference is able to be put on, and he's the one who put all this hard work in. And Nathan was telling me, no, the whole church put so much effort. And I remember getting to, really see his humility for the first time in that way. That night I got to share about God's heart for the nations, and afterwards I had a few people approach me saying they wanted to talk about missions or service, and Nathan was the only one who came up to me with really big eyes and said, "I need to talk to you."
So that night at the park, we had all gathered together and had some pizza, and I was just waiting for her to be free, and finally people left from around her and we got to start talking. We just kept talking for a long time. In fact, everyone was gone by the time we finished after midnight, and I was just amazed to see her passion for God and just the amazing heart that she had. And it was just so amazing to be able to connect on such a deep level with someone that I hadn't ever met before, at least not for 21 years. And we were just able to share things that we wanted for our lives and our goals, our dreams, and we skipped over all the preliminaries and just connected on such an amazing level. And over the next few weeks, as we continued to talk, I just saw what an amazing passion for God she had day to day, and that was one of the biggest things that just drew me to her and made me know that she was the one that I was to spend my life with.
Some of the many things I love about Nathan are his godly character traits, his humility, how gentle he is, how patient. He's very wise and very loving. And I remember seeing this within the first couple of days we were talking and wondering what it would be like to be married to such a godly man. And I'm just so excited that now I get to know.
So our parents all grew up in Romania, and they actually ended up coming to the States and spending most of their youth together in the same church in California. And when I was about 2 years old, before Ruthie was born, our family came to Georgia.
When I was a year old, my family took us to Atlanta for the summer for a vacation. And there our families met up and all the kids were together, and they decided to snap a quick baby photo, and it was our first picture together. From the beginning, Nathan pursued me, and he courted me as well. He let me know the first time that he came to see me in California that he wanted to marry me and that he loved me and wanted to pursue me as his future wife. Thankfully, throughout our long-distance relationship, we had the power of Skype on our side, and we were able to talk with one another for hours each night, every night. But more than talking, we really got to spend time in prayer with one another every single day. And as much as we could, we tried to be in the Word together, and we would go through books of the Bible and share our thoughts about it. And that really kept us connected. It was wonderful to be able to pray with Nathan every day, even when we were miles apart.
Being able to be in the Word and prayer together so often really helped us through this time. And as well, we also prayed very often for God's strength to carry us through, and God really responded. Really, His grace covered us, and He's able to strengthen our hearts and our minds and really hold us together during the times when we couldn't be physically together. So in September, I first started asking Rachel what kind of ring that she thought Ruthie would like. And over the next few months, we kind of worked together to plan out the ring, and then soon after that, to work together on the proposal day.
I knew that a proposal was coming, but I didn't know exactly when, and I didn't know at all how.
So the morning of the proposal, I'm on my way to the park where everything was supposed to happen, and I get a phone call from my uncle and my cousin who are there to behind the scenes shoot things, and they tell me that the park is closed. But thankfully we had a backup plan. So once we got to the park and Ruthie's brother and sister also got there, we all headed over to this place called the Redwood Forest where the backup plan happened.
We got in my car to start the day's adventures, and Nathan started off by telling me there was one spot Stephen had told him about that he really wanted to go to. So I remember thinking, I know what's gonna happen. But while we were in the car, Nathan suddenly changed his mind and decided, can we go to the Redwood Forest instead? I want to go there, and then I want to go to this place that I really want to go to right after, but we'll go here first.
So I had written out a scroll with our story in fairy tale form, and it was tied with a big red bow. And so we went to set up the scroll right across, buried in some shrubbery, but still able to be seen by looking at it closely. And everyone took their positions.
When we got to the edge of the forest, we found our bench to sit on and took a seat and got to just continue the conversation. And a couple of minutes had passed, so I was wondering when we were going to move on to the next thing, when he was going to take me to the spot he really wanted to take me to. After a couple of minutes, I saw that Nathan was just trying to direct my attention out towards the trees, and he was pointing out, look at that pole, and look at the ground, and look at that tree, and trying to get me to look in this one specific spot, and I couldn't figure out why.
So after I finally was able to get her attention to the scroll that was hidden in the shrubbery, we came back to the bench, and I had her read the story that I had written.
We sat down, and I opened the scroll, and I started reading Once Upon a Time, and I read all the story in fairy tale form of how I met my Prince Charming. After 3 pages, I get to the end of the scroll, and I kind of look ahead to see if there's a "Will you marry me" written really big across the bottom, but it was missing. He told me to close my eyes, and while my eyes were closed, he was reaching in his pocket looking for a ring, which was not in the box because he knew I would notice. And when I opened my eyes, he was on one knee and he had the ring out, and he told me the one thing missing to make my happiness complete is to have you as my wife. Will you marry me? And I said yes. Well, one of the things we're most excited about being married is
Finally being together in one place for the rest of our lives.
yeah, no more countdowns, no more Skype dates, no more Delta miles. Another thing I'm really excited about is just the opportunity to live out the image of Christ in the church and getting to serve Nathan and to really follow his lead and get to be the helper that God has given him in his life.
I can't wait to be able to serve together with Ruthie and to just work together for the kingdom of God, to work out in our lives those things that He's already put strong desires in our heart for, to be able to minister and serve those people who God will put in our lives, and to just be able to reach the lost with the gospel of Jesus Christ together as one. And whether that's from Atlanta or South Asia or anywhere else in the world, I'm just so excited to live out God's purpose for our lives together with her.